Hello, my name is Bulby, and for some reason, I decided I want to be a game developer. But I'll never get anywhere if this is the best I can do. So last week I set out to learn Blender well enough to give my game an update. If you're interested in watching that, stay tuned. I start day one by opening Blender and following a tutorial by Row Builder, Absolute Beginner Basics. I can't show you footage of me following it because I forgot to hit record. But I'm actually grateful for that because all I did was mutilate a cube in that 10 minutes. Here's how the next part is going to work. See, I'll rewind this tutorial, see, and you see, I'll follow it to the letter from A to B till C. Then, see here, I'll spend the remaining hour trying to make the models with some sort of theme. Each day will have its own theme. Today's is toys. Why? Because I like movies and video games starring toys. Okay, wow. I just spent 20 minutes creating this travesty of a tree. A wiser man than me would retire after making something like this. But I am not wise. I'm equal parts stupid and ambitious. Just like Luffy. Alright. The tree is a failure, but I'm sure my next model will be passable. So I put on my tunes and crack off to work. Wow guys, I can't believe it took me just an hour to learn to make assets as well as Ubisoft. I call this piece Pet Rock. It is a failure like the tree before it. Bro, this is so bad. I'm so cooked. I'll never quit my day job with work like this. But I've got 50 minutes left in day one and I'm desperate enough to cheat. So I just take this cube here, add a bevel, attach cylinders to each of the faces, and voila! I have a die. Now, I hear some potential objections, so let's get them out of the way. Yes, a single die isn't a toy. You obviously grew up above the poverty line. As a kid, I played with markers by pretending they were Mario, Luigi, Peach, or Toad, depending on the cap color. A bored child can find infinite ways to play with one of these bad boys. Next. None of those dots are even. You are correct. Ever wonder why everything in America was produced by someone else? Because this is where American manufacturing peaks. Especially now that everyone puts some dollar store AI in charge of quality control. Next. Does that die really pass? No. That's 3 straight L's in a row. I'm tired, and I want to give up. But I want to be a game developer even more. So I'm about to prescribe a new deal like FDR. I see Blender for Absolute Beginners by Nova 3D in the suggested. It goes over the same principles but slower and in more detail. I'll spend 14 of the remaining 40 minutes following that, then put the rest of the work session toward making a passable asset. Okay, that was pretty informative and now I feel confident that I can end day one with a pass if I take my time, choose something simple, and utilize object and edit mode correctly. 23 minutes on the clock, and 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, now that, as goofy as it is, passes. I was going for one of those old metal Jeep toys. I totally credit Nova 3D for this victory. I'll add his and any other tutorials I like in the description. Yesterday's showing left a smidge to be desired. But it just gets tougher from here because the topics are ordered to escalate in difficulty each day, making the week into a crash course of sorts. So let's get crashing. Today I want to practice animals and insects. It may sound strange to combine the two, but hear me out. They provide the same strategic benefit. On one end of the spectrum, you can make something cute like a penguin or moth. And on the other end, you could use traits like claws, horns, hooves, and bunches of eyes or legs to make something creepy. I'll start day 2 with Grant Abbitt's Model Any Low Poly Animal. He's making a buck in it, but I decided to follow along using a mouse because... I mean, look at the little fella. After a scant hour, I've made it halfway through the 30-minute tutorial and come up with this. Do it pass? I mean, yeah, I give it a pass. I'd be proud to put this little guy in a game. I'd be ashamed to charge money for a game I put him in, but for like a game jam, he'd rock. That leaves me a mere 40 minutes to make the insect model. I work third shift and it's 5:35 a.m. at the time of writing this, so while all of you dreamt, I splashed some water on my face and got to finding a spider picture. And with the remaining time in day 2, this is what I come up with. It's okay, I mean there are some things I really like about it, like the overall shape of the, abdomen? It's been so long since I learned about spiders in school, one sec. Yeah, abdomen. Plus I like the dynamicness of the legs. Color scheme is bleh. And I appreciate what I tried with the eyes, but they should pop out instead of sinking in. However, it gets the idea of spider across, so I'll give it a pass. Today I made less models, but increased my success rate by a good 100%. There's a lesson here to ignore about taking your time. Are you excited to get to work? Because I'm excited to get to work. Today's topic is environment. Now, this represents a different challenge, as one object cannot be deemed an environment. So here are my arbitrary rules for what makes an environment. 1. It must include 3 objects, and 2. The objects must be cohesive. Meaning I don't want to see construction tools stored with beach toys inside of office furniture. Same hour and a half on the clock that I always go by, and let's get started. Tragic news, guys. A lot of footage from today became corrupted. One of the casualties was my first project, the pond. I can show you my coloring it, but not creating it. As such, I feel it would be a cop-out to count this as a success. Well, that and it felt a little too easy. But it shows what I'm trying to capture for my next piece. To be honest, I'm frustrated because I lost so much footage and I'm worried this project is going to be a failure. But I guess I'll keep struggling on. I mean, you can be miserable from boredom or struggle, but you can only find tangible reward in the latter. And after some time, this is what my struggle came to. It's crap! It's crap and I'm angry! Failure! Fail on that cactus alone! Alright, okay. There are just over 30 minutes left in this day. It would be cool if I could skirt the day by with a single pass. And as much as that cactus sucked, I kind of enjoyed making it. A part of me thinks I should retry the desert scene, but with a more cartoonish look. Screw it, let's give it a... What's up? Yeah. Aww, don't say that. Dude, if you're serious, I'm gonna cry. Yes, I will. I will. Alright, thanks for telling me. Bad news, fellas. The footage of me making this next asset was also corrupted. But hey, no, don't click off. I can still showcase it. I want to give it a pass. I think it looks like something from Looney Tunes, but I also can't really show you me making it, so I don't feel comfortable passing it. For the first time in 3 whole videos, I feel outright bad. Not only am I upset about losing the footage, but my artistic performance today was insulting to the good name of Blender. I am going to go take a nap. Maybe even 2. Day 4 starts with me following Joey Carlino's character modeling for beginners. And the first part sure is, but it outruns my understanding just about 13 minutes in. But it does get me a basic little guy made. His arms look like crinkled straws. For the rest of the day, I ditched the videos and just snatched a PNG of Freddy to start modeling. With $1.20 on the clock, topic today is humanoids, by the way, I don't know if you gathered that. With $1.20 on the clock, I spend 30 minutes on the top of the head alone, and I need to work on something else if I'm going to finish it all. I move on to the jaw, then bow tie, before making my way to the torso. Pretty much the whole way I'm making up what I'm doing on the spot. Just tossing lots of crap against the wall and seeing what sticks well enough to paint over. About the time I finished the torso, a meager half-hour remained and I still had lots of detail to add. This will not impact the quality of the final product whatsoever. Whatsoever. Little did I know, the next part would be an experience akin to pouring Duracell juice up a nostril. It caused me enough grief to cry. These legs straight up ran me out of time. I mean, bankrupted me of time like 2008 bankrupted my parents' retirement savings. Ha! The real joke here is the idea that my parents ever even started saving for retirement. So, time is out and the legs aren't but half finished. The way I see it, there are two choices. Bite the bullet and take another day as an L, or shirk off my adult responsibilities in order to rush through finishing this model in a subpar fashion. So here's the finished guy, and listen, he's a little screwed up. He's got fanboy and chum-chum hands and Creature from the Black Lagoon flippers. I mean, we all have some microplastics in our balls, but this guy's dad had some balls in his microplastics, if you know what I mean. But I'm pretty happy with him anyway. Maybe we bonded by the mutual trauma of his creation, so I'll give Michael Phelps over here a pass. Methinks there's but one skill pillar left I need in order to update my game. Animations. And would you look at that? Today is my last of the 5 allotted. Can I level with you guys? I don't think I can do it. I mean, all the tutorials I see are much longer than the rest, and I've just got the same old hour and a half because I do not plan on making yesterday a habit. But I'll give it a shot. Mr. Stinkleton here is going to be my assistant for the day. Say hello, Mr. Stinkleton. Let's see what Mr. Stinkleton here and I can come up with. As a certified medical doctor, I don't believe bones are supposed to do that. But remember, this is the American healthcare system. Bedside manners and doing the job right are luxuries that cost extra. Much extra. I'll be damned. I managed to animate something. It looks a little funky, but I think that fits Mr. Stinkleton well. The whole thing took me about 30 minutes from start to finish, but it doesn't feel right to leave the project off on just this. And that's why the video will actually end with my microfilm, the paper man and the rat. So yeah, I'd give myself a pass for that. Not bad for 5 days, eh? Yeah, okay, I know it's pretty awful. But the journey doesn't end here. It's time to get right back into Blender so I can make that update for my game. Thanks for watching. Follow the red arrow to subscribe or the blue arrow to see other garbage I've made. And have a good day.